Hi, it's Beck here, and I'm here with Martin from Leitch Photography. How are you, Martin?
Very well, thanks, Beck. How are you today?
Good. I'm really well, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Yes, likewise. Now, I wanted to have a chat to you about copyright. That's a really big issue for artists worldwide.
It certainly is.
Yeah. How do you go about protecting yours?
Well, you're right, because the minute I take a photograph and, for instance, put it online on my website or Instagram, then potentially it's available for anybody to download. And there's various ways that we can protect against that, and really the first level is the Copyright Act, which essentially states that for commercial photography, the person that takes a photograph is the owner of the copyright.
Right, okay. But surely the Copyright Act in itself, that won't stop people from downloading your images, will it?
That's correct. So there's a couple of things that I can do to help minimise the risk of somebody downloading or illegally downloading from the website. First is I upload them at low resolution, so there's a limit to what they can do with that image if they do download it. Or the second thing I can do is right-click protect the image, which basically means that somebody right-clicks on the image, they can't download it. But the problem with that is that anybody that's technologically savvy can get around it and still download it. So it's still potentially an issue.
Right. So you mentioned that a commercial photographer, that their photograph is legally copyrighted to the person who took the photograph. So how does that work?
So when I'm commissioned to take a photograph or a series of photographs by a client, essentially there are two elements to the fee that I charge. The first one is the time that it takes me to prepare, to go out and take the photograph and then post-process the photograph. And the second relates to a license fee. So essentially the Copyright Act allows for me to be able to license the use of an image to a third party.
Right.
So effectively I can charge third parties for that image.
Right.
So the cost of that license is really dependent on the use that the third party is likely to put that image to, but also the value of that image to the client.
Right.
So for example, an image that's going on a best-selling book, the cover of a best-selling book, would attract a much higher license fee than, for instance, an image that's simply going onto a website. So the fee is balanced against all of that.
Okay. So then in terms of your clients, how does that affect them in using your photographs?
Yes, so that's interesting. Some of my clients, particularly contractors, have approached me to distribute the images amongst their subcontractors as a bit of a goodwill gesture, and they're looking for that to happen for free. Unfortunately, that is then starting to impact on the legalities of being able to do that. So, for example, a subcontractor receiving an image and starts to use it, potentially he's in breach of the Copyright Act, which could then potentially attract some fairly large fines. So it's a protection for the subcontractor, but also it's a protection for me as well, because the license allows me to have some degree of control over how other people can use the images. Right,
and then ultimately it could reflect badly on you if they've used it in a weird way.
It impacts on my reputation, exactly.
Yes, okay. Well look, thank you so much for your time today, Martin.
Well, thanks for the opportunity to explain all that, because I think it's an important issue.
It really is. Well, thank you, and hopefully everyone takes it on board.
Thanks, Beck. See you next time.